not only has Andy Roddick been insightful answering our questions on TC Live, he's been answering your questions as well. Many of you have posted questions on social media using the hashtag AskAndy. In a couple minutes, we're going to turn the tables and see how much he knows about himself as we say good evening to the Hall of Famer and Tennis Channel contributor, Andy Roddick. A-Rod, good to see you. We're going to start with the news that we opened the show with. Forbes releasing their highest paid athletes list as they do each year. Roger, first time there's ever been a tennis player at the top of this list. I was curious for your reaction to that.
Well, listen, I think it's about time something good happened to Roger. Nobody likes him. He's not real good at his job. So it's just nice to see someone who's been working for so long. Finally, something good happened to him.
And it turns out he wasn't the only tennis player on the list. We had two women on the list in Osaka, and Serena's been there before. But the Osaka phenomenon, really, you could paint that a bunch of different ways, including the fact that we were supposed to have the Olympics in Tokyo this year.
Yeah, and I think the precursor to that was obviously you see Nishikori down there in the bottom right. When you see, listen, I love Kei, but he wasn't a guy who was winning multiple slams and he was still banking, 30+ million a year. You take Osaka, who has this shy personality that's super endearing. She starts winning majors. You knew that this was an inevitability. I don't know that we all saw 37.5 mil, 2 years later, but the money was there to be had for an engaging personality from the Japanese market, and more power to him. I think this is a good representation of tennis.
Yeah, and for Osaka, also in her early 20s. I mean, the sky's the limit for her, depending on how long she plays. But I mean, she will certainly be a force if she plays 10 or 15 more years. We'll see. She was supposed to be the face of the Summer Olympics in Tokyo. Hopefully that will still be the case next year, 2021.
Yeah, well, Roger Federer, 106 million. Let's remember, only 6 million or so of that coming from ATP official prize money. This is almost all of this from his blue chip sponsor list, led by Uniqlo, which reportedly pays him around 30 million a year, guaranteed for 10 years, whether he's playing or not. Credit Suisse, Mercedes. I mean, look at all of these sponsors. These are cherry-picked by his management team, and he is a wonderful representative for them. You're not going to be reading about him in the police reports. Roger is going to do the right thing by his partners, his sponsors, his family. He is an incredible investment for all of them. And believe me, if he's making $100 million, they're making a lot more than that off of what he's doing for them. So that he's a smart investment for these brands.
Yeah, and I think another part that's undersold that you don't hear too much about, if you look at this list, that's a very international list. I think it helps when you can pitch products in 5 different languages, all the same. So he is an absolute international icon. If you don't really run across people, whether they're interested in tennis or not interested in tennis, that have a real negative feel about Roger. It's not like he plays for the team that you don't like. So I think, listen, he's as reliable as it gets as far as selling a product, as far as being a responsible citizen, like Jim mentioned. There's not a whole lot of risk with putting your money behind Roger.
Okay, Andy, for the last couple of weeks, we've gone real or not real. And I don't know if you were a great jump roper. You do that? Okay, we've got a bunch of jump roping clips for you to check out today. Okay, so that's real. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely real. I mean, Novak could be doing he could be doing that standing on his head, and I'd be like, the athleticism and the balance, that's probably real.
Okay, I think they have another one. Okay, this was Kuznetsov. This was pretty impressive. He goes single, then he goes double, and then he wants to show you 20 triple jumps in a row. Could you do that?
Lindsay, stop right now. What do you mean, could I do that? No, I couldn't do that. I couldn't
now,
do,
like 10 years ago.
I couldn't do that for 30 seconds like normally jumping. I'm sick of all these guys showing off. I'm over it.
I think Andy could probably do that on a trampoline, but that's probably, and by the way, I couldn't. So we're talking about degradations of athleticism here, but that is impressive. No question. That's a lightweight. He's a lightweight, Andy. We don't count. We don't count that.
I was just thinking, Jim.
He drank an entire bottle of wine in one sitting.
Real or not real? Very, very real. Jim, you used to do that after matches, right? Just to intimidate guys? Wasn't that the story?
Yeah, back in the day, if you could even just basically make it back to the locker room, people were impressed with you. That's how badly we're as far as fitness goes. So things have changed a little bit. The bar is a little bit higher, no question.
Right. Yeah, I gotta jump in here real quick. The most intimidating thing was like you'd finish a long match and David Ferrer would go for a long run, which is intimidating itself. That's out of the Courier playbook. But then he would smoke like 3 heaters out on the patio afterwards. He'd be like, "This guy's amazing. I've never seen anything like this in my life."
Breakfast of champions, three heaters and some Cheerios. Let's shift gears here a little bit. We've been doing the Ask Andy segment, and we're going to flip it here and ask Andy something about his own career. This is the question, Andy. Do you know which Roland Garros finalist that you have a career-winning record against?
Guillermo Coria.
That's one.
I'm pretty sure Martin Verkerk made a final. I might have a winning record against him. I don't know.
You were 1-1 against Verkerk, so that's a no.
Alex Corretja. I have a winning record against Alex Corretja.
That is correct. That's 2.
Well, I guess Novak won it eventually.
That's 3. Yeah.
Okay. So anyone who lost in the final.
Any finalist, yeah.
I don't know past that. I don't know. That's a lot of thinking this late in the evening. These late night shows are really my social life.
Would you believe that you had a winning record against 7 guys?
Oh, what up? Go me. Wait, but this includes winners though. Like Gaudio didn't make another final,
well,
right?
If you won it, you made the final. You're a finalist.
I was thinking like finalists, like okay.
I see. So my bad on the wording, but anybody who won the title or made the finalist, or you get the point now.
Got it. Yeah. So Jim and Lindsay's list of this would have the only reason I got chosen for this question was because mine fit on one page.
No comment. No comment from the control room.
All right.
Andy, thanks.